All right, welcome back to the last set of our instant match point analysis. We're playing boards 21 to 30. We had a lot of poll questions for our panel on this one. In fact, five boards we went through in this set. So, Gavin, let's cover the ones we didn't cover with the crew. And this is the first of those. Another very competitive hand. Kind of a common theme, as in every bridge game we play. Lots of competitive auctions, and we see quite a few things at play. Number one,
So much going on
yeah,
this end.
the North Hand is just way stronger than 13 points, which is why we go the traditional route of opening our longest suit.
Yes, sometimes with these 6-5 hands, like, look, we know partner's going to respond to majors, so it's going to be very difficult for us to bid our second suit. You see that this time we've chosen to open a club knowing that when we bid diamonds, it's going to force partner to the 3 level, which is called a reverse, and which really we need to have enough points for the 3 level, so it shows like a 17 count. But as you see here, we don't have 17. But we just
But
kind of
we kind of do.
evaluated that opening a diamond and then bidding 2 clubs with his hand just doesn't do our club suit justice, and our playing strength is really solid. We don't need that much to make a game. We need partner to have an ace and a diamond on her, right? That's like
Yep.
7 points or so, or 6 points. Ace of spades, queen of diamonds, and we're on a finesse for game. And this is kind of a hand that when you won one in the majors, you're kind of expecting it to get crazy, right?
Yeah.
There's very often on these hands that
Your next
before you
bid's
know
at
it,
the 4 level, basically, after you open
so
the bid.
it's pretty important that we get our 6 card club suit in. And
Yeah.
so that's why we chose to open a club, and we're willing to reverse. We don't love it. It's not like we love reversing with this hand. It's just distorting our hand to show 5-5 when we have such a nice club suit just feels wrong.
And this
Uh,
is just one of those very strong positions because almost every single shred of our points are in our two best suits. We have 11 cards in those, and if we find a fit, it's extraordinary strength. Unfortunately, it's a colossal misfit for at least the North South players. But we get to see kind of a normal auction. One heart as an overcall, we loved it because of the shape of this hand, right?
yeah, we're
And we're
not
not vulnerable.
not vol again, and it's funny we said we wouldn't overcall with that other eight
I
point
know,
hand,
which
but
was,
now we're 5-5 with
yeah,
6 points. We, as you'll hear later when we're discussing the contrast, there's a later overcall when the guys are just going to discuss in the poll. There's 3 things we're looking for. One of 3 things when we're overcalling at the 1 level: good suit, or good hand, or good distribution.
yep,
This is good
good
distribution. We're
distribution.
5-5.
Mhm.
Sure, it is our opponent's suit clubs, but we're sitting over them. And honestly,
It
people
could be our
lead
best
their
suit, for God's sakes.
but people lead their partner's suit. So we're
Yeah,
pretty
for
happy
sure.
getting a club lead
Into
on
ace
this
10 9
hand.
fifth,
So
yeah.
so it's definitely I definitely like having clubs sitting
And
over
then
the
South just shows 5+ spades and 6+ points.
and now West. This is a really interesting situation where West has a really strong hand, but really West can start to add up like something's going on this hand. How do
This
I
is when
have
you look at the
14
color of the
points?
cards to make sure you're playing with the same deck, probably.
You definitely you have 14 highs and you have a singleton in the opponent's suit. So you have a
And then you have King
monster
Jack
hand
third of
here.
partner suit. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
really, really good hand. So the first thing, the question that some students or some players might ask is,
Which cubit do you make?
yeah, we have 2 cubids we could make. We could bid our left-hand opponent's suit 2 clubs, or we could bid our right-hand opponent's 2 spades. But we're definitely cubitting, right? We're even a cubit isn't going to do this hand justice with 14 and a singleton,
Yeah.
although we can deduce that partner has made a very aggressive overcall.
Yeah.
So the big difference between the 2 cubids is the cheaper cubid, which is the one that we've suggested on this hand, should show only 3 card support. Whereas if we cubid the higher suit, 2 spades, 2 spades would force us to the 3 level. So it definitely shows a better hand, but we like to play that promises 4 card
And
support.
is
That's
this
the
only because South spade is 5+ spades? Because in different situations, like a club, a diamond, a spade, two spades, I would think would be natural in a lot of cases.
I don't. I think the only time that would be natural is if it went like a club double a spade. That's where you really need
Okay.
to
All
expose
right.
their suit. I agree with you. You might want it
It's
to be in that
this
other
is clear.
spot, but
This is 5+ spades, so it's not going to be that. But in other spots, I don't know. It's a weird thing you might want to talk about with your partner.
usually when you have the opponent's suit, you can just wait around and
Sure.
then have it go something and then bid their
But
suit on the next turn.
at the super expert level, the one spade bit is psyched a lot. So I guess
It is over a takeout double. It
but
isn't
only in
over
that
an
case. Okay, good,
overcall.
good, good.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
drawing a distinction there. That's beautiful stuff. But West is kind of upset that they don't get to bid a game on this one. Really, they compete to the 3 level, and partner is just
Well,
unwilling and
there's
probably
so much
scared.
more on this hand. Like North's second bid.
Yeah,
So North has to get those diamonds in
for
there,
sure.
right? That's critical that they bid two diamonds. And this two diamonds in this competitive auction, it's actually like it's getting more likely that it is 6-5. Like South can kind of start adding things
Yeah,
up
because
too. Like I have
what's this cubit to
7.
my left coming from in an
Yeah,
overcall, right?
they've overcalled on my right is 6. The cubit over there is 11. Partners running out of room for how do they have a reverse? It's often going to be that they're 6-5. Not
Yeah.
that South really
I
cares.
mean, South has 11 cards in the majors, so they can at least deduce that something weird is happening for sure.
Yeah. So, but
But East,
East. Let's
yeah,
talk about East because
because
East is a really
pass is
interesting.
an option.
Yeah, so this is something that you really want to talk about with your partners. East, if they had the choice here, we have to say East has a pretty weak hand, right? They don't
Yeah,
have a good hand. So they want to tell partner, I don't
I have the
accept your
worst.
limit raise. I have
Yeah,
a bad hand. And really what you need to agree with your partner is, does two clubs force us to compete to two hearts? Are we ever going to be allowed to sell out to the opponents in two diamonds? And the common practice among experts is that once we've bid two clubs, we're committed
once we cube it.
to
Yep.
once we've cubed two clubs showing the limit raise. That forced us to two hearts. That's saying we're headed to two hearts. So here, East has two options that they can do at two hearts and but before two hearts. They can either bid two hearts directly like this, and this is a pretty advanced concept. So don't worry
Yeah,
if you're
and
watching
it's
this and
it's really good for expert partnerships. So if you've been playing with a partner for a while, this is a situation that you want to discuss for sure because it's helpful.
right. So you need to know the difference between pass and two hearts. So which is stronger? So there's two schools of thought, but what I play with my partners is that going back to two hearts is the weakest thing
Same.
for two hearts. So it's like almost like
It's the
fast
fast.
arrival.
I was just gonna say the exact thing. The slow approach shows a better hand. Fast arrival shows the
Going
worst.
straight to where we're forced to is the weakest thing that you can do,
There it
and that
is.
anything else would show a more positive hand. So pass would actually say, hey partner, I know it sounds like everybody's bidding over here, but I don't have the worst overcall. I'm actually keen to maybe go on if you have a good limit raise. And when you bid two hearts, it's like saying, no,
Yep.
partner, just kidding. Remember
I
that 8-point
do not
hand
accept.
earlier? I
Yeah.
have that's what you should be thinking about
Yeah.
my overcall. So
And then
and
South
that
just shows a lot of extra spades, in this case at least six. And then West says, I'm
yeah, West
still
has to
willing to
figure
bid.
this out. Yeah, West definitely has enough to bid, but West
They might
has to
want to defend
understand
two spades.
you do have 14. Yeah, they might want to defend a vulnerable two spades. And if you decided to just defend two spades, and if you double two spades for penalty, that would be, I would
Do you
have
think would
not
North
blame
have
you.
sat though? Would North have bid three
No,
clubs
North
here?
definitely
Yeah, yeah. So
wouldn't have
you wouldn't get
sat
a
if
chance to do that. Yeah,
right. But West definitely you should be thinking about double. And
yeah.
just for as far as knowing whether double is penalty or not with your partner, one good rule of thumb is that when we've already established a major suit fit, we have no need for takeout doubles anymore.
And when one of us has completely described their hand, which was that two heart bid did for East, basically, that said, hey, you know what I have, right? So in this case, double would be
The,
probably.
but just I think the problem that most players had to battle with if you overcalled a heart with the East hand is just West really grasping the fact that even 14 and a singleton still might not be enough for
Yep.
game, and so
For
you
a
really.
non-vulnerable one level crazy partner overcaller, right? Know where your partner was.
So if you did bid four hearts with the West hand, I totally
Sympathies.
understand it. I understand like loving your hand and realizing like, hey, even if my partner's got 8 points, I have 14 plus dummy points. But I just think that you have to temper your expectations with this hand,
Yep.
especially the Queen of Diamonds has very little value. You only have 3 card support for partners, so trumping clubs in your hand is going to be there's not that much depth. So your hand isn't as good as it looks.
Well, also,
So
I mean, the thing, if you bid four hearts with your West hand, just be resigned in the fact that your partner's crazy overcalling these one level hands. Just, you got a crazy partner over there. But next time, remember that. This is actually a really good
but
overcall.
those of you,
And that is you want to be this crazy person for
I
sure.
will say that those of you who did bid four hearts and then you gave your partner a hard time, which is something you should never do. You
Agreed.
can't say to your brother, "How could you overcall that hand? You had 6 points. What were you thinking?" And I know that happens all the time.
Hey,
at the
Robin
bridge club.
Gavin said it was okay.
Yeah, now you come point them to this video or to the hands like, see, they
Yeah,
said I was
they
supposed to
were
open one
okay.
heart.
They were okay. But
Don't be a bad partner. Don't be a bad partner.
Exactly. And just one more thing, just tie this up, and we'll probably talk about it again in the next few hands anyway, and our guys are going to talk about it as usual. Um, but the vulnerability really makes a huge difference, right? Even at these lower levels, this white overcall is here because of that vulnerability, right? You're okay with it because of that risk profile and the fact that it's just the one level. All right, let's see the next one. Number 22 on the board. All right, here's our suggested auction for board 22. Once again, I mean, I think two spades is the most automatic bid of all time. Would you consider four hearts with the north end sometimes? I mean, are you rolling the dice, or you just want to bring partner in
Yes.
always?
I think four hearts is perfectly fine with the north hand. If you went two spades, four hearts, just as long as your partner isn't going to misunderstand you
Not
and think that
splinter
you're
bid.
splintering. But yeah, no, it's definitely not a splinter. It's definitely a preemptive natural bid. So two spades, four hearts would have been a perfectly reasonable auction. Especially, just one thing to note about this north hand is you have a suit that plays fine even if partner has a void. You know it's going to be better to play in hearts than it is to play in spades,
Yeah,
because in
beautiful.
spades your hearts are going to get marooned. You're in a 6-0 spade fit. Even if partner has no hearts, it's got to be better, right? We have six, maybe seven tricks in our own, or sorry, seven, maybe eight tricks in our own hand. So we're definitely going to insist on hearts. For those that did bid three hearts, it's important that you know with your partner whether new suits are forcing or not over week two bids. I think common practice is that the only non-forcing bids. My mom used to make me write RONF on our
My
convention
dad
card,
did the
which is
same thing, actually. It
raise
was
only non-forcing over our week two bids, which means that all
Ronf.
new suits are forcing. So that's why we're comfortable bidding three hearts. Otherwise, if three hearts was non-forcing, I think that this north end is probably worth blasting four hearts.
Well, the
Honestly,
good
yeah,
thing is the three heart bid gives us a really interesting choice for South, right? Because
yeah,
this is such a I love this four heart because it's Queen X and it's Ace King sixth, right? This
such a good
is
hand for supporting hearts. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And you have
and
a
the fact that you don't
singleton.
have a spade fit is amazing, actually. Not
You have a
amazing,
great
but
hand.
it's going to provide some relief for partner, we hope, right? And if they don't lead a
Yeah.
diamond, it might be well, I guess it's going to be relief
Well,
in
the
any
thing
hand.
is that North doesn't that frequently introduce a five card suit when your partner opens two spades. It's so often this three heart bid promises six. It doesn't
Yeah,
promise six. You could be like some
sure.
5-5 22 count or something
Yeah,
that
right, right.
where you
Well,
need
you're
to.
probably going to be okay in a seven card fit at the four level, also opposite that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly. But normally you're not introducing five card suits when your partner's already promised a six card suit. So
yeah,
it's maybe at the two level, like sometimes when partner opens two diamonds and we bid two of a major, that'll be five some
yeah,
because we're hoping to buy a 5-3 major
for
suit
sure.
fit. But when over two spades, we're not going to force the hand up to the four level with a five card heart suit. So we can kind of bank on partner having six when they bid three hearts. So bidding four hearts is, and recognizing South is a huge hand. This
Yeah.
hand is almost too good to open two spades. I
Well,
know it
especially
fits.
when partner shows hearts now. The Queen of Hearts is amazing for this hand.
Yeah, the only
It's
better thing is if
spectacular.
partner bid diamonds and we'd have a four card fit
Yeah,
for
now
them.
that singleton club is even more valuable in this spot.
But recognize that week two bids are 5 to 10. But there's when you have a nine count with like ace king six of spades and a 6-4 hand, you're really on the upper end
Yeah,
of
you
your week two bid. This is a really strong week two bid,
put a king in
especially with the
this
queen of
heart
hearts.
suit, you open a spade 100% of the
Yes,
time.
if
Yeah,
this
you're
Queen of
opening
Hearts was
one.
the king,
Yeah,
it is absolutely too strong for a two spade opener. Even playing 5 to 10 is your range. 6-4 hands, it's the same theme. When you
yep.
have 10 cards in two suits, your hand will play so much stronger than it looks when you have a fit. So opening a weak bid and it's just
Yeah,
dangerous when
for
you
sure.
have 10 points and 10 cards in two suits. I'm very hesitant to open weak bids.
And here, the other big thing, just a reminder before we tie this one off nicely. Over week two bids, the raise is the only non-forcing bid. So three spades, four spades, whatever you're raising to, non-forcing. Any other suit, new suits, forcing. Right? So you're always bidding in response to this. Do not mess that up. And let's jump on to number 23. We had some doubts on this one as well, Gavin. The south hand is close to maybe going a little bit higher here, but let's just start off perfectly normal stuff. The one hard opening bid in any chair, but in third chair there, double. Oh my goodness,
Textbook.
that's what a
Yeah.
double looks like in heaven. And then just a normal two heart bid here. Even with a nine card fit, you might have some system here, right? Like maybe three diamonds is your mixed raise or something, or
Right. If you play some people play something called Bromad where you can show four card
I haven't
support
heard
and
about that
and
one in a while.
Yeah, and if you play Drury, then I would be perfectly fine to show a Drury with some. You only 8 points, but you have a nice 4 card fit. It's definitely okay if you
Or
have
if you play
if you
transfers over major double, you might have
you'd show a
some,
good
you know,
raise of some
yeah,
sort with the south hand. So you definitely,
lots
but
of
you're
ways to
fine bidding
skin this
two
cat.
hearts. It's fine to
Yeah,
bid two hearts if you're showing 6 to 9 points. You're right in the middle of the range. Yes, it's great you have 4 card support, but it's bad that you have um 4 3 3. So it's that we're kind of it's a mixed bag. It's
yeah,
hard to evaluate the south hand. North hand, it's going to depend on what your system is. Like if partner made some kind of constructive bid, you're probably just blasting game with
right.
16 points with that north hand. So if you bid for, if it went like a heart double and your partner
And you
showed you
showed like a
something
mixed
like,
raise.
yeah, then North is just bidding game.
Yeah.
They're not gonna try to, and it wouldn't have worked on this hand. Might have if the opponents led badly or something, but you don't quite make 4 hearts in this hand. But if it did go a 6 to 9 2 heart bid, really North needs their partner to have a good, decent hand for game. So we felt like this was a perfect spot for a natural game try, a 3 diamond bid to kind of let partner know, hey, I've got length in diamonds, so points in diamonds would be a good thing. And now
And then we
South,
vacillated with South because we don't have points in diamonds, but we have like a
it's
mucho
it's
maximum here.
yeah, we
Yeah,
have a good hand and we have that fourth trump. So again, if you jump to 4 hearts, it would be okay. But three
exactly.
little diamonds is the worst holding you could have. And when partner says that
And it's
they want some
specifically
help
what they
in
need, right?
diamonds,
Yeah.
and you don't have help in diamonds, and you just return to 3 hearts. I mean, usually you return to 3 hearts with three little diamonds. It's okay sometimes with a maximum to go game. So if you bid 4 hearts, I have complete sympathy. East has an impossible opening lead. You don't like leading unsupported aces, so I
Yeah.
would rule out the spades and the clubs. You don't really want to be leading a diamond for the king jack fourth, but we also hate leading a singleton trump.
And
This
and
is a
we and
spot.
we did see them say, "Hey, I don't have help in diamonds," presumably by West. So maybe it's, maybe you just hate leading away from King Jack fourth into the person that has trouble in diamonds.
Right, exactly. But I will say that this is a spot where I'm willing to lead a singleton trump. Normally, you're afraid to lead a singleton trump because often, like if partner has
It's
4 of them, like you can pick up their 10
Yeah,
or
it's
something
historically
where it's
terrible.
just really, really bad. The one thing going for leading a singleton trump in this spot is that we've already made a takeout double, so they kind of know we're the one short in hearts, so they're probably going to pick up the heart suit regardless of whether we break them. So this hand looks like the one.
Yeah,
I hate telling people
it's such a
lead
torturous
singleton
position though.
trump, but it's just such a terrible hand to lead
Yeah,
from. You just want them to break one suit for you first.
right.
Like if they lead clubs and you can capture the queen with the ace, then you
Well, in
can
fact,
punt back the jack of clubs and get out of your own way. You just don't want to break these 3 suits. But if I had to break one, it would definitely be diamonds. I would never be leading a spade or a club from the ace
no,
or
yeah,
leading
and
the ace.
this is a hand that we should archive for whenever anyone says, hey, we can't ever lead a single to Trump, and then say, hey, make your lead, buddy. Good luck in this
Yeah,
race.
yeah.
So when you're really stuck with tough options, sometimes you're leading something bad, right? And that's the
I
problem of
feel
opening lead.
East's pain on this hand
Yeah,
when you're
for
thinking about
sure.
opening lead. Just do it. Just get it done and hope for and there's no right answer. It's
Right.
going to be
Right. So we had a variety of questions on, in fact, the next 5 hands. So we brought our panel in for these next 5 boards.
Like
And
Gavin,
boys, a couple more chances to excel in this
being
realm
hurt
here.
again.
All right. So board 24, we set you guys as the South player, and
I'm
this is
so
your auction. One spade, pass, one no trump. Do we bid? Don't we bid? And this is kind of a little different from earlier. A one level overcall that looked like a bag of hammers you guys were in there with, and a two-level overcall with this 11 count. Most of you are making a disciplined pass, and then we
This
have
hand took me so long to respond. I was
we
like,
have Johnny and Joe. You guys, this isn't
took you
surprising. You
so
guys
long.
spend a
What
lot
is
of
it?
time
equal way of
together.
match points.
But I'm just
Was
saying,
it
it
a
took
tenth
you
of a
so
second?
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Did it take you
I
three
typed in the
seconds
whole
instead
thing
of
and then
two?
deleted it, and then typed in the whole thing and then deleted it, and then went back to bidding 2 hearts.
Okay.
So wait,
So
you
Which
passed,
to
you bid two
clarify
hearts, you
took 10
passed, and then you bid
seconds.
2 hearts, right?
I tanked.
But
Didn't
this
I
is
say something? What did I say?
you did mention something here. I can't remember exactly what it was, but this was one of the few times you kind of put a good description in. But here, this just shows the difference between the different types of bids, right? At the two level, we're going to be certainly way more disciplined, uh, but really nice shape on this one. You kind of, you hate having to pass, but what are you going to do? Right?
Three little spades is awful.
That's
Yeah.
what
Real estate double.
That's why
that's
we
what you
also
said,
got
Joe. That's exactly what
The,
you said, actually.
But the dream auction, right, is if you pass, is it goes 2 diamonds, pass.
And now you can double.
Yeah.
And now you've been 3
you can
hearts.
get.
And now you've been 3 hearts.
All right. Anyone else want to
I just
pop in
love
on
the
some?
contrast for people to see at home, the contrast with that other hand that we were showing, that these
Yep.
guys were willing to overcall that ridiculous hand with queen fifth of spades and 8 straight points at the 1 level, but that now here we've got a much better hand, we have better trumps. We have all of our points in our long suits. We have 3 quick tricks. We have a singleton. We have all these things going for them. But and it's equal white for all that they've said so far today. Equal white. You got to bid at equal white. You got to bid at equal white. And then here they are passing a 2-level overcall. So they respect the 2-level. That is the thing that people need to take home from this hand.
Is
And
it
if I held
possible
it,
that
like-
the 2 best players made the 2 best bids here, or
me and
the 2
Johnny have
worst
been making
players?
all the same bids. It's like we were in the car together discussing them.
If I had shorter, I would also be more inclined to bid 2 hearts. I mean, just because usually when you're looking to compete, the onus is on the person with the shortness in the opponent's suit. Here, 3 little spades is sort of what we call like a death holding, because anything sort of my partner might be able to get roughed out. They don't have a spade fit yet. And
All I'll say is it'd be worse if you were directly overcalling over 1 spade. So if it went 1 spade and you overcall 2 hearts, that's sick.
even more
At least
criminal.
here-
Okay,
At least
gotcha.
here, your partner's spades are like sitting over them. You know what I mean? Like that's
Got it. Understood. Sweet. Number 25, we had another question for you guys. Spade, 2 spades, pass to you. Clubs.
So you bid 3 clubs, pass are correct. And for some people looking, they say, why don't you bid 2 no trump to ask the minor? And that's because the modern way, at least, of responding to Michael's is that 2 no trump, when you're asking your partner for their minor, shows a good hand and is actually saying, not only do I want to hear about your minor, but I also have a pretty good hand for you. And that when you have a weak hand, or a hand that's not interested in game, this hand actually, if partner has clubs, you do have some game interest, but you're expecting partner to have diamonds. And so when you have a weak hand that's not interested in game, you bid 3 clubs, telling partner to pass or correct. So that's why it's a unanimous 3 club bid. For those of you who are looking like, why didn't they just bid 2 no? That's why. It's because 3 clubs was just, I want my partner to, expecting partner to go 3 diamonds over our 3 club bid.
And then I have part 2 of this, actually. I kind of did it up graphically for us. Now when you bid 3 clubs, partner bids 3 diamonds. Here was the choice, and I'm pretty sure everybody passed except Cran. I think you bid 3 hearts here. I'm not sure.
To declare, Cran's partners always tell him to correct the hearts. Though.
I wasn't.
Tell him, they insinuate it.
I wasn't sure if this was the right one, but I think it was, right, Cran? You bid 3 hearts at this point.
hearts.
Yeah.
He ain't making partner play a 5-2 fit. What are you doing?
That's right. Hey, I would, to be honest, out of all of you, I would prefer to play with Cran as the West player, because now I can just sit back.
One advantage, 3 diamonds maybe hasn't gotten doubled yet, but if I bid 3 hearts, I'm sort of maybe enticing a trump lead a little bit, and that's maybe not the worst for my 2 little jack and 1. Usually I'd like to play whatever contract from my partner's side if I'm getting a trump lead, but
Brad, why are you passing 3 clubs? I mean, I guess it's the same as me.
So I think
You mean 3 diamonds? Yeah.
It's not a guarantee, but if you asked me which suit partner's more likely to have 6 of, it would be diamonds than hearts.
That is exactly what Gavin said when we were analyzing this hand as well. Actually, I think that's in the notes for people also. Mm-hmm. And it's because if there's 6-5 hearts and diamonds, they're never ever going to bid Michaels, right? They're going to start.
No,
with
they
hearts.
might.
And I don't think that's true. That's too strong. But
okay,
but it's
understood.
much less likely.
Got
or
it.
less
likely.
Less likely. It used to be much less likely. Now it's just less likely.
Now it's just less likely. Okay, the trends of the expert world. Number 26, guys, we asked you one of our last questions here. When a spade pass a no trump pass 2 hearts by partner double, and honestly, we weren't sure how high you guys would go, but we had quite a few 4-heart bids, some 3-heart bids, and some redoubles as well. Let's chat, boys. What are we doing here? And Vinny and Brad are on the redouble train here. Yeah. What's your strategy with this one, boys?
Vinny, you want to take it?
I mean, I didn't want to just bid 4 hearts. So I'll tell my partner I got, something better than a 3-heart bid.
Yeah, exactly. Redouble and then 3 hearts.
I thought Kevin's 3-heart bid is a little conservative.
And I have a bunch of losers. It's not clear I'm making 4 hearts at all. I got
Yeah.
with my partner's stuff in the minors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I would rather bid 4 hearts than 3 hearts, but I just thought I'd rather read like a 3.5. If I'd rather do a 3.5 heart bid, but maybe
Got
4
it.
hearts.
So just to say, if there was no takeout double in between, and so your choices are 3 hearts and 4 hearts, you
I
would
would
all
bid 4
bid
hearts if there's no
Four
takeout.
hearts.
Got
I
it.
think it's worse when they double because now all the diamonds and clubs are offside. I would bid 4 hearts over one spade one if they didn't bid. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if they
But
didn't bid, I think I would bid 4 hearts as
I got
well.
all my points in the majors. Like partner rate, if they just have a stiff in one of the minors, you're just gonna,
So you like what both you guys redouble, are you going below like it goes 3 clubs or 3 diamonds pass? You're bidding just 3 hearts.
so now
If
you've
it goes 3
communicated to
clubs,
partner.
if it goes 3 clubs, there's probably an argument for that was all you really needed to bid game. Once you know that if the other person has a club fit for their partner, that they don't. It's not 100% that they have 4 clubs if they bid 3 clubs, but if they bid 3 clubs, if partner's got 3 diamonds, if partner's got 5 spades, 4 hearts, and 3 diamonds, as long as partner's got a diamond stopper, we might be able to throw away our diamonds on their spades. So it's definitely, if you knew partner had a stiff club for sure, you would say game. I think you'd go to game.
Reasonable.
Yeah. But the person who bids 3 clubs might be 5-3 in the majors. They don't have to have 4 clubs.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah,
gonna
but
try
they
to
rate it 2-0. Right.
with 2-3 in the minors. I don't know. They're just gonna try and escape. Oh, maybe a bit 2-0 naturally. Yeah. Whatever.
All right, boys, let's look at a couple more. Board 27, we had another lead problem.
Oh,
And let's back it up a little bit. One club, you overcalled a heart. It went double pass, a no trump, all pass, and the choices were, what do you lead?
Wait a
And
second.
here we
Johnny
go.
led the queen of spades. I mean, like
Johnny
how
led the queen of
on the same
spades.
page as that.
Yeah. Now that's deep game right there, eh? What do you think he's trying to do with the queen of spades lead? Just kind of
Lead through strength.
just
I
the
think he misclicked. You know how your hand rotates when you're bidding? Yeah.
It's kind of hard to like type a Q and a spade
I think he
and then
meant
assume it a
10 of
misclick,
hearts,
right?
and he accidentally led the queen of spades.
I thought this was a really tough lead problem. Like, first of all, if you're going to lead a heart, whether to lead high or low, and then just.
I was going to lead 10 of diamonds or the 7 of diamonds. Like, I'm either going to like show the jack 10 of diamonds, but if you don't play Bruce now, then I guess
And you're just kind of trying to get somebody else kind of leading a heart through for you, basically, at some
I'm just
point,
leading
not
the low
kind of break
diamond.
this up.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
So the thing about this spot that is where this is one spot where you can't really bank on South having like a great heart stopper. This is a spot where they're kind of under pressure over the negative double. They might have bid a spade with a 3-card suit over the double, but they very often will rebid one no trump with sometimes even no heart stopper in this spot. So it's a little different. Yeah, my perspective when I was thinking about what to lead, this wasn't a spot where I'm picturing Declare having queen jack fourth of hearts, and I really want to get my partner in to lead hearts through twice. It's that was my first thought when I saw this hand was it's not that hand. So that didn't help me make an opening lead. It just that was my first thing that I thought of.
If the opponents have 3-3 in hearts, Vinny's lead is definitely right because if dummy has jack third or queen third of hearts, it's right to lead ace of hearts and a heart. And if it's only when like if your partner's got jack and 1 heart, you're still gonna beat it by leading the. You're still gonna beat like you lead the ace, partner can unblock, you get him in and leads another one. So the ace of hearts probably would be my second lead probably, but I don't know. I like leading a diamond.
Yeah, I thought I needed to see the dummy, see what I'd be in better spot to make the shift if I need to shift. I mean,
Sure.
For all I know.
Yeah, dummy could be coming down with diamonds, and you need.
If partner has a stiff heart, though, it's going to be right not to lead hearts. I'll say that. That's why.
Yeah.
But I definitely like the ace of hearts more than the 6. I got then 4th best.
Kevin is just getting trashed in this chat here.
Kevin's getting trashed. He's not even here.
Not here to defend himself.
Can you explain exactly what do you not like about the 6 of hearts?
Exactly what Vinny said. Like that. Well, if you start with what you said, that they don't even have to have a heart stop. They could have queen and a heart, in this situation easily, and this stuck for a bit. So that's the first thing. Then, but also looking at the dummy and deciding whether I want to switch to spades or diamonds.
If dummy has 4 hearts to the jack or the queen, you don't want to let them win it. You want to get the right suit, either spades or diamonds, going right away. Like I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, but on the other hand, though, just for the argument of the 6 of hearts being right, is that partner doesn't rate to have 3 hearts in this. Obviously, in fact, we pretty much know for sure that partner does not have 3 hearts in this auction because we only have 13 points, and they've stopped in 1 no. I mean, yeah, it's not for sure. Partner could have like a 3 or 4 count and not be strong enough to compete to 2 hearts, but they're white at match points, so they're very likely to raise to 2 hearts. And if partner does have a doubleton heart, every time declarer does have 4 of them, leading the ace is going to completely crush us. Like if declarer's got queen 4th or jack 4th of hearts and you lead the ace of hearts and partner's got a doubleton, it's going to be impossible for us to get in twice and set up our hearts. It's going to block the suit pretty considerably. And if we had just led low, if partner's got queen doubleton or jack doubleton or 9 doubleton, those are now a low heart is going to be significantly better than an ace when declarer has 4. Not when dummy has 4, definitely not, but when declarer has 4, it is going to be. And so if you were leading against 3 no, let's say it went 1 no past 3 no, what would you lead?
I wouldn't lead a diamond now. My partner doesn't have points. I would lead
totally
the
different. Yeah.
It's totally different. That's what I wanted to talk about. What do you think?
I would lead
the ace of hearts.
Yeah.
The ace because you want a chance to shift. That's what you're thinking.
No, now it'd be a different reason. From now, first of all, partner could have 3 hearts easily in this situation. We could just have the running heart suit. But also, the doubleton hard to set it up. Like it's not like partner's going to get in again. Like most of the time, it's likely not to cost. But I don't want to just give away, the heart trick. Right now to lose to a queen doubleton or whatever.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great point. That 9 and 1 heart that you're hoping for partner to have, that's not even going to help you if they're in 3-0 because partner's not going to get in to lead another heart through.
Yep.
Cool.
Very nice. All right, boys.
I blow the contract too by blocking the heart suit.
What might? The ace of hearts might.
Ace of hearts could, but you could lead ace of hearts lower, then they have to duck the jack or something, or I don't know.
Right, then they have to duck the jack, but if they're in 3-0, your partner might not have much more than just the jack heart.
You guys were in 3 clubs except for John Cran. I thought you would definitely be on the aggressive side of things.
My range, dude.
Cran would overcall no Trump. He just knew he couldn't.
Right, so this is the beauty of being non-vulnerable, right, and having not the worst suit either, King 10 9 8, right? This is pretty good. You're expecting
a past partner, and your lefty's not a past hand, so
I mean,
kind of put some pressure.
Cran's line, he would have been 4 clubs, 3
All
clubs.
right.
I know they don't like it when he bids 3 clubs. I like that he's passing. Trust me.
But
as long as it's okay in your partnership, that's all.
You're saying Cran would have been 3 clubs, but when he answered the poll, his answer was pass, but don't hate 2 clubs.
Got it.
I was mixed whether I even wanted to say that because I'm constantly battling my students when they have a hand that they feel is not good enough for a 3 club overcall that they overcall 2, and I'm saying that's just not allowed. That's not something you do. When you overcall 2, you've got to have it because partner might bid game, and it's okay to have a weak preempt. So then hearing that Cran was thinking between pass or 2 clubs, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe that he's thinking about bidding 2 clubs.
If you gave us the same hand, but we were 6-3-2-2, Brad and I would both overcall 2 clubs.
Yeah.
Really? That's that. Just to be clear, that you guys have a very unique style. You're on the same page, and you know exactly what your range is.
We made sure that was on the front of the WBF card under like things like white red overcalls. Can be like
after partners of past hand.
It doesn't even matter for us. It doesn't matter for us, but yes.
Let's just be careful. But now we're scouting for the World Championships here. So by the way,
it's on the card. All we got to do is read their card.
By the way,
it's on the front we had to put it on the front. I didn't want to,
We're going to have a vote after this right now. After the poll is over, that was our last poll question. Gavin, who do you think the most impressive player in the poll series was? I have my vote, and it's probably the same.
I mean, that's not fair. I'm sorry. Give me a break.
It's Brad, and it's also because of the haircut. Brad's hair is flowing well for the broadcast as well. So, I have to give it like driver of the day for Formula One. Brad for the polls. Thank you, sir.
It's always Vinny D, man. It's always Vinny D.
Vinny's like about to let his hair down. Wait a second.
So great discussion from the guys there, and interesting that they chose to preempt with three clubs with that hand. All of them are really on that.
Yeah, look, good preemptors. It's so hard to play against you.
Yep.
You're gonna go for some numbers. You're gonna go, you're gonna overbid a little bit, but man, are you tough opponents.
Yep, and you're giving people way tougher decisions than they're having at other tables if you're doing it effectively. So let's jump into number 29 here. And here is our suggested auction for this. And this is one of my favorite hands. And I think you and I were just discussing this. This is a fun hand to talk about in a number of different ways. The start, very normal. North opens one club. East has a very normal overcall, but notice we're not doubling here, even though we have kind of the shape where we might double sometimes. We have a 5-card major.
Yeah, it's exactly what we talked about earlier is the problem with making a takeout double when you have a 5-card major is that when partner, let's say, bids diamonds, this time it would have worked out just fine to double because partner probably would have picked spades anyway. But if you can imagine that partner only has 3 spades, make a spade a heart. Then when you double, partner's going to choose diamonds, and now we've completely lost our 5-3 spade fit. It's impossible to recover a 5-3 fit after we've made a takeout double because doubling and then bidding spades at your next turn will show a huge hand. It'll show 17 or more points. It'll say, partner, forget the message of my takeout double. I had a hand that was too strong to overcall spades. And obviously this 10 count is not too strong to overcall
Exactly.
one spade. So that's why you have to overcall a spade. Now, just to further this point, if we had 5 diamonds instead of 5 spades,
in fact,
we would make a takeout
2 small
double.
diamonds and take away 2 spades, and now you have the perfect takeout double.
Yeah, you would take out double because you're not worried about missing a 5-3 diamond fit.
Yeah.
We're worried about missing majors who fits because majors who fits pay more. And at match points, that's just the name of the game. So we have to overcall a spade with this East hand.
And then South has one of my favorite positions here. This hand is shape-wise correct to bid 2 hearts because you have 5 of them, but you just do not have the values to be bidding at the 2 level. Now, you don't need your game force like we talked about, but you still need a good 10 or more, and you're just not quite there. So we can show hearts by doubling here. We don't have to have just 4 here. We have 4 or more hearts in this situation. And then West has a pretty reasonable Q bid with a 9-card fit and heart shortness, right?
Yeah, this West hand, it evaluates to 9 high card points, but then we add 3 support points because we have a fit for partner, because we'll be able to trump hearts in our hand. Those are extra tricks that our high cards don't suggest. So we Q bid.
And then does North ever just double 2 clubs here? What would that be in this situation?
Double of 2 clubs really would normally suggest 6 clubs. Like it says, I really want to let you know, partner, I have a 6 club. I don't really have a good enough hand to compete to 3 clubs, but I want to let you know about it in case you have a fit for me. So it's something you'd often, it doesn't necessarily show a great suit. You might double with like Queen 10 6 to clubs because that's the kind of suit where
you get partner to compete also.
You really want partner to compete when they have a fit, and they obviously have no idea about our club length when we open a club. So really double really just brings the clubs back into the game here and lets partner know about wanting to compete to the 3 level. We have 3 ways actually, interestingly, that we can bid clubs. We could directly bid 3 clubs. We could pass, let them bid 2 spades, and then
we
come
know
back
that has
bidding
to
3
happen.
clubs. Yeah, they're headed that way. Or lastly, we could double 2 clubs.
And any of you that watch us play the robots on Wednesday morning know how we are very frustrated by this particular sequence at times. But here North just passes, and then East decides to just bid 2 spades. That's kind of the limit of their hand. They're not going to play game opposite a 10-point hand from partner. Does South ever consider? I mean, if North had doubled clubs, South would probably compete in clubs, right?
Yeah,
in this case,
yeah,
right?
and honestly, South could have considered competing to 3 clubs
with their
over 2
spade shortness.
It's not crazy with 4-card club support. Normally, you'd like to have 5 when you're supporting your partner's clubs, but and it is still possible that partner does not have 5 clubs. If partners could easily be 4-3-3-3 with 4 spades.
Oh, sure, because with your spade shortness sitting here.
Yeah, it's dangerous, but I will say. Again, I think Larry Cohen would advocate for bidding 3 clubs. I don't think he'd be content to let the opponent.
That's another $5 to Larry.
Yeah. So I do think that the idea of letting the opponents play in 2 spades when there's such a good chance we can push them to 3 is,
Good stuff though. The East-West is going to be in 3 spades, whether if you force them there, they will get there, right?
Right, but 3 spades has got problems on this hand. They're going to lose a diamond, a club, a heart, and because of this terrible spade layout, they're going to go down in 3 spades. So if we could push them there, that would be excellent.
Yeah, North-South actually can make a whole bunch of tricks double dummy, but you just really need
everything. That's funny.
The club suit and the heart suit is just everything is perfectly correct on this
yeah,
hand.
you could take 11 tricks. 11 tricks. It says they
I
can
think
make
so.
probably 3 no trump, making 5. Okay,
it's crazy. So don't
that's not
be
actually
fooled by
happening
the
in
score.
practice.
Par for plus 660 is just an aberration here.
Yes.
And the fact that you have a diamond stopper is hilarious also with Jack X opposite Queen third. All right, Gavin, last chance to excel. Are you ready for it?
Let's do it.
Board 30, here it comes. All right, here it is, Gavin. And this was our suggested auction. It could have gone a number of different ways after the one no Trump opening bid. The East player has options, and depending on what your system is, you can explore different types of things. But we just figured, for the most part, based on the systems everybody was likely to be playing, this was the simplest, and it's not an unreasonable choice by East.
I mean, yeah, the most important thing is that you recognize that this 8-point hand is better than your typical 8-point hand because you have this source of tricks and clubs and an entry in diamonds. So it is really worth more than 8. Usually when you have 8 in a 6-card suit, that's enough to just bid game. Those of you that do play 4-way transfers, you don't normally just transfer to the minor, and that you wouldn't transfer to the minor and bid 3 no Trump. There's no purpose to that. That's just telling the opponents about your 6-card suit and just heading to 3 no Trump anyway. And when you have a minor suit, 3 no Trump is usually the right place to play. Those of you, the more advanced players, or if you may have noticed this if you were playing this against an advanced pair, that the expert standard way to play is when you do transfer to a minor, that you can then bid a major and it would show shortness. So some tables, I think it might have been a common thing where it went 1 no Trump, 2 spades transfer by East, 3 clubs by West, saying I like clubs because you've got ace king third of clubs, and then East bids 3 spades and you alert my partner has shortness in spades. And the big thing is about telling partner about the shortness in spades is then
a bad 3-0.
if partner will know immediately if they have no spade stopper, we got to get out of 3 no Trump. And usually when we have a singleton, the opponents have enough of them that was the lead that they were going to make.
So it's choice for them.
It's often right for us to kind of let partner know this is a problem. But here with partner having a spade stopper and such nice clubs, they probably would have just bid 3 no Trump anyway. So you would have ended and probably led a 4th bet spade or the 10 of spades with that north hand, feeding that 9th trick in there. It's hard to avoid giving that.
And guess what? There we go. We get 9. And honestly, look at any lead they make. It's a 9 trick.
Yeah, they'd have to get out a club to really give them a chance.
Yeah, that's right. That's
you
the
just
only
would
thing.
never do that.
No way.
You would never do that. It's so normal to lead your 5-card suits against.
Well, I mean, I defy anybody to not lead a spade on this auction and this hand, especially if you get to show spade shortness. Well, that's it, my friend. That's a 1 through 30. We didn't think a lot of you were playing these last few boards anyway, but we were pretty sure no one was playing 31 to 36. If we missed those folks, we're sorry about that. But maybe, Gavin, when you add these hands to your site to let them play it, we can add those 6 boards at the end and have something fun for that.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I will say that this has been a really fun experience going through these hands. It's not something that we've really ever done before. We've been on the receiving end. As growing up, I used to love these instant match point games and playing in them, getting the booklet afterwards.
It's an honor to have done this based on how much history I personally have with this game. It's one of the best things I've done.
And it's harder than it looks. And I will say that it's really great that we've got to record videos afterwards. So you really could hear how much of a struggle it was.
Yeah.
Every hand we sat down when we started this process, and we sat with a hand record on a couch and just started talking through hands. And we're like,
yeah, I know.
This is like my hand 3. We could not believe because so many decisions.
Who dealt these heads?
Yeah,
and when we get to certain bids, it's like, okay, now this player has an interesting problem, and you and I mean, we obsess over every little detail. So I'm sure you guys can tell throughout the video, but we enjoy doing it. But really, I mean, that we would do this sort of thing for free. This has been a lot of fun, a lot of work. And Gavin, people are going to have an opportunity to actually, after we've all played and after everybody's kind of seen the results, we can go redo these on your site. You have a nice
you can now. You'll be able to click a link on the front page of wolpertbridge.com, and it'll take you to a page where you can actually play these hands. You can even invite your a table of 4 to all sit down and play together, and then afterwards rewatch these videos to hear what our suggested auctions were and hear this whole analysis again as a group before.
All right, and we're happy to do this. This will be on my YouTube channel as well. I hope you guys enjoyed playing in this game and seeing the results afterwards. And if you have any questions, you can get to us on either of those two platforms. And folks, right in the video, you'll see a link right to Gavin's page as well, where you can play those boards as well. So for the rest of the time, guys, enjoy these sets of deals, and we'll see you next year, we hope. Thanks a lot, folks.